Vietnam Travel Guide, everything to know before you go. Vietnam has emerged as one of Southeast Asia's most sought-after travel destinations. It is a fascinating and lovely nation with plenty to offer tourists. But in order to visit Vietnam like a local, you'll need to know some insider secrets that will help you find hidden treasures and steer clear of typical pitfalls. Why Vietnam is becoming a very popular destination for tourists. These insider travel tips to Vietnam will help you have an amazing trip. When is the best time to visit Vietnam? When making travel plans to Vietnam, the seasons are the first thing you should think about. Vietnam experiences tropical monsoons with wide regional variations in temperature. The best months to visit Vietnam are November through April if you want to experience moderate dry weather. At this time of year, there is the least amount of rain in the nation and the weather is pleasant. But since this is also the busiest travel season, expect higher costs and more people. Vietnam's dry season normally lasts from December to May, while the country's wet season lasts from May to November. The country's northern region experiences 4 distinct seasons. Naturally, the weather in Vietnam is unpredictable, so don't forget to pack raincoats, layered clothing, hats, and sunglasses. Which language is widely spoken in Vietnam? Vietnam's official language is Vietnamese, formerly known as Annamese. There are about 59 million Vietnamese speakers in the globe. It is also spoken by many individuals who live abroad. Vietnamese is widely spoken as a second language in neighboring countries like Thailand, Cambodia, and Laos, as well as among many ethnic minorities. A variation of the Latin alphabet is used in the Vietnamese alphabet. All the letters from the ISO basic Latin alphabet are used with the exception of F, K, W, and Z, which are only present in loanwords. You shouldn't be concerned if communication worries you. Most tourist destinations and large cities have a large population of English speakers, but when one ventures outside of these areas, very few people speak the language, and the older generation might also speak French. Does Vietnam require a visa for me? Depending on your nationality, the reason for your visit, and how long you plan to stay, you may not need a visa to enter Vietnam. For brief visits lasting between 15 and 30 days, citizens of a number of nations including ATM members, Russia, Japan, South Korea, and several European countries can enter Vietnam without a visa. However, visitors from nations that aren't on the list of those exempt from requiring a visa must apply for one before arriving. Vietnam provides a variety of visas such as e-visas, business visas, and tourist visas. Citizens of more than 80 countries can apply for tourist visas online through Vietnam's e-visa system, which usually permits a stay of up to 30 days. Extended visits or distinct objectives like work or education might necessitate a more specialized visa category, and the application procedure might entail extra paperwork. Before making travel arrangements, it is imperative to confirm the most recent visa policies and application requirements with the Vietnamese embassy or consulate in your nation, as regulations are subject to change. Local currency VND. The currency used in Vietnam is called the Vietnamese Dong, or VND. You can find accurate and current information about current exchange rates on the internet. Always check the denomination of the money you are paying with, because some notes have very similar colors. The 20,000 and 500,000 VND notes, for example. Smaller change and bills should always be on hand to make paying for purchases much simpler. Time zone. Indochina time, ICT, used in Vietnam, is 7 hours ahead of Coordinated Universal Time, UTC plus 7. Vietnam does not observe daylight saving time in contrast to many other nations, so its time zone is consistent all year round. This eliminates the need to change the clocks according to the seasons, offering consistency to both locals and visitors from other countries. The nation shares its single time zone with a number of its neighbors, including Laos, Thailand, and Cambodia. The time difference between Vietnam and home countries should be taken into consideration by foreign visitors and business travelers, particularly when making travel or meeting arrangements. Vietnam is, for example, 12 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, EST, in the United States, and 7 hours ahead of Central European Time, CTT, during Standard Time. It is essential to comprehend Vietnam's time zone for efficient planning and communication, particularly for individuals involved in international activities. Banking. Most banks in Vietnam will be open from Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and 8:30 a.m. EVURTA, and you should know before you go. During lunch, the banks are closed from 11:30 to 12:30. At comparable exchange rates, jewelry stores or hotel receptions are open for business on weekends and public holidays. Most tourist destinations have plenty of ATMs, and most hotels and restaurants take credit cards. Please be aware that credit cards issued by American Express are not widely accepted. Master and Visa cards are generally accepted, but there is typically a 3% fee on top of the cash price. What type of electric plugs? The standard voltage and frequency in Vietnam are 220 volts and 50 hertz, respectively. Electric plugs come in two main varieties used in the nation. Type A and Type C type of plugs are widely used in North America and some regions of Asia. They feature two flat, parallel pins. Plugs with two round pins, commonly referred to as Europlugs, are Type C plugs that are widely used in Europe and many other regions. Tourists from nations with different plug types or voltages will require a voltage converter in addition to the proper adapter. For instance, guests from the United States should make sure their electronics are compatible with 220 volts or use a converter. As standard voltage, there is 110-120 volts, and plugs are usually Type A or Type B voltage converter to avoid damaging their electronics. Vietnam gastronomy. Vietnam is referred to as the food kingdom. Because Vietnamese food is so delicious, it is becoming more and more popular around the world. You can get incredibly good food in Vietnam at affordable prices. There are countless options for food. For example, you can spend slightly more for fine dining or less than $2 on a bowl of noodle soup. It's true that Vietnamese food is tasty and nutritious no matter where you eat it. The majority of fruit stands sell fruit smoothies made with seasonal fruits like longan, banana, sugar apple, avocado, strawberry, durian, jackfruit, dragon fruit, lychee, mango, and passion fruit. Vietnam is known as the kingdom of food. Vietnamese food is becoming more and more well-known worldwide because it is so delicious. Vietnam offers very good food at very reasonable prices. Don't drink tap water in Vietnam. Because of worries about the quality of the water and possible health risks, it is strongly advised not to drink tap water in Vietnam. Many areas of the nation may have contaminated tap water, which can result in gastrointestinal disorders and other health problems. Contaminants include bacteria, viruses, and heavy metals. Even though water treatment facilities in major cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City have advanced, it is still not safe to drink water straight from the faucet. It is advised to drink bottled water, which is generally accessible and reasonably priced throughout Vietnam. To prevent health issues, to ensure its safety, make sure the bottle's seal is intact before making a purchase. In addition, boiling tap water for a minimum of 1 minute or employing a reliable water filtration system can make it safer for consumption for individuals who would rather reduce plastic waste. It is advisable to confirm that the ice you are eating is made from purified water, particularly in smaller or less regulated establishments. By taking these safety measures, visitors and locals can stay healthy and enjoy their stay in Vietnam without contracting any water-related diseases. How to bargain or technique to get good price. While most large shops and stores in major cities have set prices, you should be able to bargain in other parts of Vietnam, particularly in the local market. Vietnamese people adore conducting business and find it offensive when a client leaves. Generally speaking, the moment you ask, "How much does it cost?" they will take the initiative. You shouldn't allow them to make you feel inferior. To get a better deal, try walking away. Simply state your price, mean it, and if they disagree, simply and graciously leave. If it's a truly good deal, they'll give you a call back shortly and give you the best deal while you're still. Communication. Even though a lot of the locals are multilingual in English, you shouldn't count on it. Communication is now a little bit easier thanks to translation apps on smartphones. Since they use 6 tonal signs, many Vietnamese words have similar sounds but distinct meanings. A tour guide will cost you about $35 per day on average. It will be so much simpler on your trip. It may not be appropriate for couples to make public displays of physical affection. For this reason, you may encounter pairs who do nothing more than clasp hands rather than giving each other hugs or kisses. This travel guide offers broad details to help you organize your trip to Vietnam. Please confirm information with official sources or local authorities prior to travel, as conditions and regulations are subject to change. Any potential health problems or travel inconveniences are not the author's responsibility. When traveling, always be cautious and take the appropriate safety measures. Have fun traveling and discover Vietnam's wonders. So if you like our video and you want more similar topics to see in future, then subscribe to our channel.